doubts? Okay, I think it is visible to you now. So here we have already calculated the limiting radius ratio as 0.225 for the 4 coordination number. For the zinc blend structure, ZNS. Okay. In case of NaCl, it is having the 6 coordination number, and the Na is bigger size than the zinc. So Na, here we will prove the fact that NaCl structure, when the cation radius reaches to 41% that of an ion. So Na structure is 41% of chloride structure, chloride size. Here, in case of 6 coordination, we are considering the closed packing of face-centered cube. Here is the unit cell of a face-centered cube. Am I audible? Probably you have started.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think so here you can see the face-centered cubic structure of NaCl. Here is unit cell. You can see the corner is occupied by the chlorine, and also the center of face is occupied by the chlorine, and the sodium is occupied just the edge of middle of the edge. Okay, so you can see the structure. Here we are taking one surface, the figure of a one surface, any of the surface. So here you can see sodium, and at the corner 4 chloride is present, and also at the middle of the any of the surface, the chloride ion is present. And as per the assumption, the chloride is also touching, each chloride is touching, as well as the cation sodium plus is also touching with each other. So we can draw a right angle triangle considering the middle of this chloride, middle of this chloride, and that one. Is it clear? Now,
Yes, sir.
if we consider here the radius of anion is R minus and radius of cation is R plus, so here this line is R minus 4R minus, and this line is 2R minus 2R plus, as it is written over here. So A is R minus plus, this is A we are considering, this one. So A is R minus 2R plus and plus R minus. So 2R plus R minus. And D, we are considering this diagonal as D. So D is R minus 2R minus plus R minus 4R minus.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर
Yes, please.
सर ये कंट्रोल जो है अपने पास करिए, ये स्टूडेंट जो है
Sorry.
Hey, sir. Sir, he was saying to make all the students attendees because someone is removing other students.
No, it is not possible. I have already changed
सर 8 बार रिमूव हो चुका, मुझे बोलते हुए निकाल दिया किसी ने, 8 बार रिमूव हो चुका हूं।
Okay, I think they will not do now. I have changed the setting. Okay, no problem now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so here you can see that this is the A and D. Now, as per the Pythagoras theorem, this D square is A square plus A square. Okay, D square equal to A square plus A square. This is also A if we see. So D is root 2A, or we know that D is 4R and A is root 2R plus R minus. So from here, if you solve it, you will get R plus by R minus equal to 0.414. Is it clear? So from that, the limiting value which we can calculate for the 6 coordination number is 0.414 or 41%. The cation size should be 41% of the anion size. Is it clear? Now here your home task is, see, for the 4 coordination number, we have considered the tetrahedral structure, isn't it? But if we think the square planar structure is also possible. Square planar structure means on the same surface, it is 3-dimensional structure. But in case of square planar, it is in the same plane. In the same plane, 4 anion may be present at the corner and cation at the middle. So please calculate for the square planar structure what should be the limiting value. Try to calculate it. Okay. Now here you can see the, so here we will move to the next one. Next one is 8 coordination cesium chloride structure. That is, in case of 8 coordination number cesium chloride, 4 cesium, all the corner is occupied by the cesium and the center is occupied, the BCC, body center cube, center of that cube is occupied by the cesium. Okay, so here we can draw the structure, this type of structure. Those are in the same phase, but this is not the same phase. Anyway, so we can draw the same type of triangle here. But here the A is R plus R minus R minus and D is same as we have already shown. So D is 2R plus 2R minus. In previous case, it was also 2R plus 2R, it was 4R minus. Here D is 2R plus 2R minus, because this is the D, R minus, R plus, R plus, R minus. And here is the A, R minus, R minus. So A is 2R minus and D is this one. And now considering the similar Pythagoras theorem, this is D square equal to A square plus A square plus A square, because this is not in the same plane. This is in the diagonal position. So we are considering, think about the cube, the room you are sitting, and this is the corner of your room, not corner of a square or corner of a rectangle. This is the corner of a cube we are considering. So corner of a cube is A square plus A square plus A square. Is it clear? So this is 3A square, or D is root over 3A. And if we put the value, we will have the R plus by R minus limiting radius ratio as 0.732. Is it clear? So it is 0.732. And as long as the cation is not smaller than 73% of anion, we will have this type of structure. So from the calculation here you can see that below 0.155, this is the limiting value for 3 trigonal planar structure. So below that, it is the linear structure. And from 2 to 5, which is the tetrahedral structure limiting value, this is the trigonal planar. And from 2 to 4 to 0.414, which is the limiting value for the 6 coordination number, it is the tetrahedral structure. And for 6 coordination number, either it may be square planar or octahedral. In case of square planar, we have not calculated. I am already giving you the home task to calculate in square planar case. Here you may check that whether you are reaching the limiting value of 0.414 or not. So for 6 and 4 coordination number, either it may attain octahedral or square planar structure depending as per the limiting radius ratio. Why this ambiguity arises, that we will discuss during the discussion of Jahn-Teller theory. Okay. And for 8 coordination number, it is 0.732 is the limiting value from 1 to 0.732. And when it is reaching above 1 or near to 1, then it is having the 12 coordination number or closed packing structure. Is it clear? So those are the limiting radius ratio which we have calculated for trigonal planar, tetrahedral, octahedral, and cubic structure. You have to calculate the square planar one. Okay, and above 1, when the anion and cation is same size, then it is forming the closed packing. Okay. So I think you have now the idea from the radius ratio how we can calculate it and what should be the crystal structure as per their ratio of anion and cation. However, which we have calculated as per the discussion assumption, here is some limitations, and that is why it is not the perfect value. It is the near to this percentage, not the exact value. Okay, this is because of those limitations. Here the limitations is the values for ionic radii cannot be measured absolutely, as those are not a perfect sphere. Okay, because electron cloud it is not defined. So that is why it is not possible to calculate the exact ionic radii of the atom. As second point, you can see that ions are not hard, inelastic. Okay, those are not hard. Means when cation is coming near to an ion, here they may attract and electron cloud may perturb, or between two cation, here is a repulsion, so electron cloud may repel each other. This type of situation may arise as those are not hard inelastic sphere. Okay. Second is a more favorable electrostatic attraction should be obtained by adopting a different geometrical arrangement with a smaller coordination number so that ion can get closer. Means we are considering that highest number of coordination number, like the 6 and 4. If it take the 6, then it will have the face center tube. But if it is 4 coordination, that it will have the square planar structure. So when it will attain the square planar structure and when it will attain the face center tube, that is not possible to understand by getting their percentage value. And preferably, as per our assumption, it will attain the highest coordination number. But somewhere 4 coordination is better stable than 6 coordination, although value is same. So that we have to consider. Second, it is also a big question that ions actually, is it spherical? Because in presence of other ions, the spherical shape of the ion is perturbed. That is why it is not exactly spherical. And so, although it is 31%, it may increase its size little bit, or it may decrease its size to fit in the gap. Okay. And lastly, it is not 100% ionic. That I have already mentioned, that although we are considering that it is 100% ionic, but 100% ionic is not possible. With ionic character, here is little covalent character. The best example is HCl. HCl having higher covalent character in gaseous states, but in liquid state, but when it is dissolved in water, having the highest ionic character. That is the problem. All those ionic compound is having little covalent character as well. Those are not 100% ionic. So the radius ratio rule may deviate. And sixth is that the stability of ionic solid cannot be answered without considering the lattice energy. Lattice energy is also an important parameter, and that we'll discuss in details. Consider the NaCl. NaCl single cube. Say NaCl is attending the 6 coordination structure. So means it will form the face-centered cube. But this single face-centered cube of NaCl, that is very difficult to separate, or it is not possible to separate. Because as we have mentioned, it is forming the 3-dimensional structure or crystal. So actually the NaCl is stabilized in crystal structure, and that is having also the stabilization energy, crystal field stabilization energy. That we'll discuss later. That how, sorry, here is the lattice stabilization, not crystal field. Here is the lattice stabilization energy due to formation of lattice. We'll consider next is energy of ionic bond due to 3-dimensional structure formation. Okay, this is known as lattice energy, not crystal field energy. The crystal field energy is different one. It is the lattice energy. So now we will consider the what is lattice energy and how to calculate it theoretically. Okay. So here you can see that simplest type of chemical bond, we may consider the example as a NaCl. And when NaCl is formed, say Na is a solid and Cl2 is a gas, and NaCl is also a solid. So here we are getting Na from solid, when reacting with the Cl2 gas, we are getting the NaCl solid. And here the energy of ionic bond from when the formation of NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl from 1 mole of Na and Cl. But those must be in gaseous state. So 1 mole of sodium react with half mole of chlorine for the formation of 1 mole of sodium chloride. And the energy released here is 414 kilojoule energy. Minus sign means energy is released. and this energy is the stabilization energy or lattice energy. Is it clear? So here from the quantitative calculation using Born-Haber cycle or Born-Haber cycle, we can determine the lattice energy. Okay. Here the different process, here the actual process is, you can see here. We'll discuss one by one. That first, Na is in solid state metal, so we must have to obtain the gaseous state of Na. So from solid, it is vaporization or sublimation of Na to get the gaseous state. Na metal is go to Na gas, and the energy when we are heating it, supplying the energy, so it is energy absorbed. 1 mole is absorbed 109 kilojoule per mole. Here we are considering delta HD or heat of vaporization or sublimation energy. Okay. Second is, now Na is vaporized, but it is not ionized. So we have to remove one electron to ionize it. Electron is bound within the valence shell and it is attracted by the nucleus, and that is why we must have to supply the energy to remove the electron. So this is energy of ionization or ionization energy. Okay, so in case of sodium, the ionization energy is 497 kilojoule per mole. It is positive here. Heat of vaporization is also positive because we are supplying the energy for the process. For the dissociation of chloride, now Cl2 is already gas, so no need to bring it in the gaseous state, as it is already gas. Sorry. Okay, so NaCl2 is already the gas, so no need to think about the solid to gas conversion. Here directly we can use the Cl2, but half molecule of Cl is used. That is why we must have break to the 1 Cl atom from the chlorine gas. So for that breaking, we have to supply the energy to break the chlorine-chlorine bond, and near to 242 kilojoule per mole energy is required. This is known as dissociation energy or ED. So for breaking of 1 molecule of chlorine, we are getting 2. So half of the energy we have to consider, half ED in the equation. Now for Cl gas atom, we must have to add 1 electron. Here for addition of electron, it is negative, not like the ionization. Ionization is we have to supply the energy, but for electron affinity means when we are adding the electron to get the negative ion, we are actually, the energy is coming out. Why the energy is coming out? Because it is getting the extra stability of nearby inert atom. And here the energy is due to the electron addition which is attracted by the nucleus. The size of the Cl minus is decreased, and as the size is decreased, it come closer to the nucleus, and that is why it get better stability and the energy is released, not like the electron removal. For electron addition, anion, the energy is released, not energy is required. And that is why it is negative sign, minus 364 electron affinity kilojoule per mole. And now to form the NaCl, here is the definition of lattice energy. Okay, it is the energy released when 1 mole of ionic crystal is formed from 1 mole of gaseous positive. This is the important term, gaseous positive and gaseous negative ion. 1 mole of ionic crystal is formed from 1 mole of gaseous positive and 1 mole of gaseous negative ion. Then these are separated from each other by infinite distance. This is also important. When these are separated from each other, means there is no attraction and repulsion at the initial stage. Okay, so they are in theoretical infinite distance without having any attraction, individual anion and cation. Although it is the ideal situation, but you have to add it in the definition. So lattice energy for sodium chloride, you can see it is here minus 185. It is the stabilization energy. Energy released, the lattice get stabilized. That is why minus 185 kilocalorie per mole for initial crystal formation. Here, I think you are aware about the Hess's law, which states that overall change in energy of a process can be determined by breaking process into the different steps and theoretically adding the changes of energy in each step. Okay, it is the Hess's law that to calculate the energy of a multi-step process, we have to break the process into small steps and we have to add the energy change of the each step. It may be positive or it may be negative. So in Born-Haber cycle, here we can, or Haber-Bosch cycle, here we can explain the process in small steps. That metal is solid. Now by sublimation we are getting the metal in gaseous state. By ionization energy we are getting M plus, and X2 is gaseous. Here we may write from X2 we are getting half of the X2, and then here is written X2, we are dissociating it to X as it is gaseous state, no need to have the sublimation or vaporization, and we are adding 1 electron to have the X minus, and then X minus M plus is formed the MX to have the lattice energy. And here if we directly go, here is the due to bond formation the energy is released. So we can write this delta HF equal to S. S is the this sublimation energy plus half D dissociation energy. The value of S is plus, that is why plus S. Half D is also plus. IE ionization energy is also plus, but electron affinity is minus. So it is minus, and minus HF is also minus. Here is the only addition. Here with the sign it is addition. Okay, so lattice energy is also minus. Energy is released due to bond formation, so it is minus delta HF, and electron affinity is also minus. All other is plus. So this is the actually formula for the Born-Haber cycle. Okay, this is a arbitrary process. Here you may consider that it is forming like ZnS formation or ZnO formation. You must have to add Zn2 plus, formation of Zn2 plus, not the single electron removal. Similarly, for oxygen, it is 2 electron addition to the oxygen. You must have to consider that. Is it clear? No. So you have the idea about the Born-Haber cycle and its calculation, because the mathematical problem may be given by giving one compound and value. In the exam, it may ask to calculate any of the value like lattice energy or sublimation energy or electron affinity. Any of the value may be calculated if others is known. Others are known. Okay, so here is the factors favoring the formation of ionic bond. When the ionic bond should form, low sublimation energy of metal, obviously the positive values should be less and negative values should be high as possible, because ultimately if energy is released, then the lattice will form. This is the theory. So low sublimation energy, low bond dissociation energy of the non-metal, high electropositive character of the metal means low ionization energy. Means as it is highly electropositive, it will easily take the electron and I is lower in value. Okay, and high electronegativity of the non-metal, because it is negative, so electron affinity should be as high as possible. It will easily take the electron to have the higher energy release. Okay, and high lattice energy. When the minus I is high, so total minus delta HF also is high. So that will make the whole process energy, negative energy release or energy release from the system. Okay, so here the little drawback is also associated with this calculation or Born-Haber cycle, that here deviation may be observed when we are calculating theoretically and when we are determining, because during the calculation we have considered the radius ratio rules assumption, that is 100% ionic in character. Okay, but not most of the ionic compound is not 100% ionic. Here is little covalent character may be present, and that is why the calculated value is little deviate from the actual value in most of the cases, but it is close. Okay, so Born-Haber cycle applied to calculate the electron affinity of unknown compound, unknown anion. Say we know the lattice energy or we can determine it, so we can calculate the electron affinity, or we can calculate the lattice energy if it is electron affinity is known. And it is also explained from the lattice energy, we can explain the stability of a unknown compound. Okay. So here is the significance, or here is the application of Born-Haber cycle. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So here little example is given. Say for I think it is visible to you because it is the letter is not very much clear. Give the following information for magnesium, oxygen and magnesium oxide. Calculate the second electron affinity, electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity for oxygen. That is for the process O minus plus E minus to E minus. Okay. You will surprised to know that second electron affinity is having positive value. First electron affinity, as we have already explained, is negative value. But second electron affinity is having positive value. Okay. So this is because it is already negative electron rich with respect to the nucleus. And now extra electron we are adding. So repulsion of that negative charge with the electron makes it less stable, or we must have to supply the energy, and that is why second electron affinity is having positive value. So here you have to write the Born-Haber cycle like this. Mgs to ER sublimation energy you have to supply to Mg gas, and we have to add we have to remove one electron. First ionization energy, then you have to supply energy to remove the second one because it is already positive charge, and from the positive charge it attracts the electron more closer and you are removing another one, so it is further positive. Okay. So and now for oxygen, dissociate it to oxygen gas. It is already gaseous, so no sublimation energy. It is dissociate to oxygen gas, and first electron affinity which is negative to O minus, and then this value you have to calculate. This is the delta HF and this is the U minus U, lattice energy. So you can write the formula like this: delta HF or minus delta HF equal to delta H sublimation plus first ionization plus second ionization plus half dissociation plus this is minus first electron affinity plus second electron affinity minus lattice energy. Here it is written the equation, and ultimately if you calculate it, you will get the value of plus 844. Okay, the value is given over here. This type of example may come in the exam, or it may give in this type of problem. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here the problem is, consider an ionic compound MX2 where M is a metal and forms a cation of +2 charge. X is a non-metal that form an anion of negative charge. Construct a Born-Haber cycle for MX2 is given below. This is the Born-Haber cycle of MX2. Each step in this cycle has been assigned a number 1 to 7, and identify one step 1 to 7, that is endomeric as written, which is endothermic. Endothermic means energy is absorbed. Okay, which step 1 to 7 corresponds to delta H sublimation? Which step corresponds to delta H? I think those are the small question, and calculate the lattice energy from the value. Okay. Here lattice energy is negative. It should not be positive. I think they have done little mistake. It is negative. Okay. So you calculate this. You have to practice this type of example. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in case of Born-Haber cycle, as we have already explained that here little deviation is observed because we have considered the 100% ionic character. Okay, so we are moving to the more accurate equation. This is Born-Lande equation to calculate the theoretical lattice energy. Okay, here we are considering, and second thing which we have considered to calculate the Born-Lande equation, that the lattice are in infinite distance. Those are not having any attraction or repulsion. And during the calculation, we have also considered the Na is attracting the shear. But when NaCl is come closer, not only one NaCl is come closer. Some of the 1 mole of Na is come closer to 1 mole of Cl minus. Na plus is come closer to the 1 mole of Cl minus. So when N plus is come closer to the Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus is attracting, but Na plus and Cl minus individually repelling the other Cl minus Na plus present in the system. So that repulsion we have to include it also, because those are not individual in the system. Okay, here as per the Coulomb's law or Coulomb relation, the force of attraction F is K Q1 Q2 by R square. Q1 Q2 the charge of ion, and R is their distance, inter-ionic distance. So force of attraction as per Coulombic law is, it is directly proportional with the charge and inversely proportional with the square of the distance. So here is the formula, K Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, now if ion treated as a point charge, so Coulombic energy, it is the force. When force is converted to energy, so it is minus Z plus Z minus E square by R. Z plus means charge on the anion, charge on the cation, and Z minus means charge on the anion, and E square means charge of a electron, because whatever be the charge on cation or anion, it is equivalent to the charge of electron. That is why E square. E square because one for cation and one for anion. By R. See, force is converted to energy. That is why not R square, it is R. Is it clear? Now, this is for the one individual Na plus and Cl minus. If we consider the 1 mole or Avogadro number of ions, then it is Avogadro number or Nd. Nd is the Avogadro number or number of molecule in 1 mole, 6.023 into 10 to the 23. So it is equal to, for 1 mole it is this one. Now here we are adding a constant. Here we are adding a factor, Medulang constant, because here in case of Medulang constant, we are considering the factor neighboring ions. What is this Medulang constant and why we are adding this, that we'll discuss in details. We are considering not the Na plus is attracting the Cl minus, it is attracting nearby Cl minus, and it is also attracting the Cl minus which is far from it. one Na plus is attracting number of Cl minus in different layer, and that is why we are adding a term A, which is known as Medullam constant. We will discuss in details about the significance and definition, concept of Medullam constant later. Okay. Second thing is that it is the attraction force, that is why negative. Here you have to consider also the repulsion, as I have mentioned, that when 1 mole of chlorine is approaching towards 1 mole of sodium, the 1 mole of chlorine, each of the chlorine atom is repelled by the others, and each of the sodium plus is repelled by the other sodium plus. That is why here is a repulsive force, which we have to add. Means that is energy is increased for that. And repulsive force is Born exponent is calculated by B by Rn, or for 1 mole N0 B by Rn. B is Born exponent, means for a single Na plus, the number of Na plus is possible to repel. That is the number. For NaCl, N is 12. It depends on the different lattice and different ions. So it is having particular Born exponent value. For NaCl, it is 12. B is 12. And N0, so B is Born exponent, or this is a number, and N0 is also Avogadro number. R is the distance, interatomic distance between them, which is also we are considering this R and this R is same as they are approaching closer. And this is N is the repulsive exponent. Sorry, this is value of NaCl. Value of B is different. Okay, this is Born exponent and repulsive exponent is 12. So here we may add the repulsive force U N0 A Z plus Z minus E square by R. This is the attractive force, plus N0 B by R to the power N. This is the repulsive force. Here A is the Medullam constant and B is the repulsion coefficient. Those are having the constant value for particular lattice. Okay, the concept here is clearly explained. Say one anion and one cation, those are in infinite distance. When they are coming closer, the anion and cation is attracting each other, but anion is repelling and cation is repelling. So when they are coming closer, this point, at this distance, the anion cation is having little attraction, and the energy certainly drop when it comes to this close position. This energy is E0 is dropped because of highest attraction over the repulsion. Okay, and this is the actual lattice energy which we can consider in this equation after the so change of lattice energy as per the change of distance, du by dr equal to, at equilibrium distance, it is 0. So this is equal to 0. To get the V, this is the value of B, because we have added one term, Born exponent. So to determine Born exponent, we are considering the equilibrium distance condition, and from here the Born-Lande equation to determine the lattice energy equal to minus N0 A Z plus Z minus. Putting the value of B, will get this equation. R0 is the smallest distance between the anion and cation. Okay. Is it clear? So you have to know that equation, and here not that it is in the vacuum situation, but we are, it is the air is present in between them. So permittivity of air is important, and that is why we are adding this term 4 pi E0 to consider the air present in between them. And value is this one in SI unit. Okay, so we will consider the some of the example to calculate the lattice energy by using Born-Landay equation on the next class. It is, I am stopping here. If you have any query, you can ask.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.